Welcome back with a new math tutorial. In this video we are talking about angle relationships. What is the relation between them? So the first relation that we have is called the adjacent angle. What is the meaning of the adjacent angle? Adjacent angle, two angles lies on the same plane with a common vertex and a common side. We can find that in example number 1 and number 2. You will find that we have a common vertex and we have a common side. The same vertex for angle number 1 and the side, suppose that this side is called AB. And the side AB belongs to the first angle and also belongs to the second angle. We can find that also in example number 2. We have a common vertex and suppose that we have AB belongs to angle number 1 and it belongs to angle number 2. But for example number 3, we can say we have adjacent angle. For angle A, B, C and angle number 3, they must be beside each other. So we have here angle 3 is a part of angle ABC. So we can say that we have adjacent angle. But we can say that angle ABD and angle DBC are adjacent angle. But angle ABC and angle 3 are not adjacent. Angle 3 is a part of angle ABC. Now for example number 4. For example number 4, you will find that we have different vertices. For the first vertex, suppose that we have X as a vertex for angle 3 and B as a vertex for angle ABC. They are different vertices. It means there is no common vertex and also there is no common side. The second relation that we have is called linear pair. What is the meaning of linear pair? Linear pair, two angles drawn on the same straight line with a common side. So we have here angle number 1 and angle number 2. They are drawn on the same straight line. So we have a common side and non-common two sides. The non-common two sides are two opposite rays. Two opposite rays, it means they are forming one straight line. But for angle ADB and angle ADC, we have a common side which is DA. But DB and DC, they are not forming a straight line, so we can say that ADB and ADC are linear pair. The sum of the two angles which drawn in the same straight line, or the sum of the linear pair angles, is equal to 180. If you add angle number 1 and angle number 2, you will find that the sum will be equals 180. And that is the relation between the angle pair angles. The third relation that we have is called the vertical opposite angle. What is the meaning of the vertical opposite angle? The vertical opposite angle forming from the intersection of the two lines. If we have two lines intersect at one point, it means we have four angles. You will find that angle number 1 is opposite to angle number 2, and they will be equal in measure. And you will find that angle number 3 is opposite to angle number 4. They will be equal in measure. So we can say that measure of angle 1 is equals measure of angle 2. And the measure of angle 3 is equals measure of angle 4. That is the vertical opposite angle. But you will find that we have one straight line which is AC. And ED, EB, they are not opposite rays, then they are not forming a straight line, so there is no vertical opposite angle. The vertical opposite angle formed from the intersection of two straight lines. We must have two straight lines. Now with the angle pair relationship, we said the vertical opposite angle, each two vertical opposite angles are equal in measure. So we can say that we have four angles, angle number 1, 2, 3, and 4. We can say that measure of angle 1 is equals measure of angle 3. And the measure of angle 2 is equals measure of angle 4. Because they are opposite angle, vertical opposite angle. And we have here linear pair angles. So we can say measure of angle 1 plus measure of angle 2 is equals 180. Measure of angle 2 plus measure of angle 3 equals 180. Because they have angle drawn in the same straight line. Measure of angle 3 and 4 equals 180. 4 and 1 are equals to 180. The second linear pair relationship that we have is called complementary angle. What is the meaning of the complementary angle? Two angles, their sum is 90 degrees. You will find that angle number 1 and angle number 2, if you add them, you will find that the sum will be equals to 90 degrees. The complementary angle could be adjacent angle and non-adjacent angle. So we have 25 and 65 equals 90 degrees. If you know the measure of one of the complementary angle, you can find the other one by subtracting from 90 degrees. Suppose that this angle is equals to 10 degrees. You can find measure of angle A by using 90 minus 10 equals 80 degrees. Suppose that measure of angle A is equals 20 degrees. You can find measure of angle B by subtracting from 90 will be equals to 70 degrees. Or we can say that we have angle A is equals 30 degrees. If you subtract from 90, you will find that the other one B equals 60 degrees. So two angles said to be complementary if their sum equals 90 degrees. If you have the measure of one of them, you can find the measure of the other of them by subtracting from 90 degrees. The third relation that we have is supplementary angle. What is the meaning of supplementary? Complementary is two angles, the sum of their measure equals to 90 degrees. But for the supplementary, if you add them, if you find their sum, you will find that it will be equals to 180. So you can find that in angle 3 and angle 4. If you add them, you will find that the sum will be equals to 180 because they are linear pair. So we can say that angle 3 and angle 4 are supplementary angles. If you look at angle P and angle Q, if you add them, you will find that the sum will be equals 180. So they will be supplementary. So two angles said to be supplementary if their sum equals to 180. If we have two supplementary angles and you have measure of one of them, you can find the other by subtracting from 180. In this problem, we need to find the measure of two supplementary angles and the difference between their measure is 80. Let the first one is x and the second is y. They are supplementary, it means if you add them, the answer will be equals to 180. But if you subtract them, it means x minus y equals 18 degrees. Now we have a system of equations. We can solve it by using elimination because we have y and y. They have the same coefficient but with different sign. So we can say by adding. X and x equals 2x. Now y and negative y equals 0. 180 plus 19 equals 198. Now we can divide by 2. If you divide by 2, you'll find that x is equals to 99. Now we can find the value of y. Because we said we have two supplementary angles, then to find y it will be equals 180 minus 99, which equals 81 degrees. So we can say that x is equal to 99 and y is equal to 81. You can use a calculator for solving this type of questions. Now we have a system of equations of the first degree. So we can use mode equation, which is 5, and press 1 for the equation of the first degree, which is linear equation. A is equals 1. So we can say 1 is equals, y is equals 1, and c is equals 180. Then x is equals 1, y is equals negative 1, and c is equals to 80. If you press equal, you will find that the value of x is equals to 99, and the value of y is equals to 81. And that's how we can solve it by using calculator. In this problem, we need to find the measure of two complementary angles. Because they are complementary, so their sum equals to 90 degrees. Let the first is x, and the second is y. Their sum is equal to 90 degrees. If the measure of larger angle is 12 more than twice the measure of the smaller angle, let the greatest angle is x and the smallest is y. So we can say that x minus twice the smallest one is equals to 12, because the difference between them is 12. The larger is greater than twice the smaller by 12. 7 is greater than 5 by 2. It means 7 minus 5 equals 2. Now we can solve using calculator. Now x equals 1. So 1 equals, y equals 1, and c equals to 9. X is equals 1, y is equals negative 2, and c is equals to 12. Then press equal, you will find that x is equal to 64, and y is equal to 26. So x is equals to 64, and y is equals to 26. And that's how we can solve the system of equation by using calculator. In this part of the lesson, we'll know what is the meaning of the perpendicular lines. Two lines said to be perpendicular if they are forming four right angles. The angle between them is equal to 90 degrees. The measure of each one equal to 90, so we have two perpendicular lines. Find x and y so that PR, we have PR and SQ are perpendicular. What is the meaning of perpendicular? It means the measure of the angle between them is equal to 9. So measure of angle BTQ is equal to 9. We can say that measure of angle PTQ is equals to 90 degrees. Now we need to solve. Measure of angle BTQ equals 4y minus 2. 4y minus 2 equals to 90. By solving the equation, I will add 2. So 4y is equals to 92. Now I will divide by 4. Then the value of y is equal to 30. Now we need to find x. We have here STR is equal to 90 degrees also. Measure of angle STR is equals to 90 degrees. Measure of angle STR is formed from two parts. The first part is 2x, and the second part is equals 5x plus 6. If you add both of them, you will find that the answer will be equal to 9. Now we need to solve the equation. So 2x and 5x equals 7x. So 7x is equals, by subtracting 6, so it will be equals 84. Now I will divide by 7. It means x is equals to 12. And that is the value of x.